record on there, and then figure out how to do this because I keep forgetting. It's on there. There it is.
I cut from my bed.
Cool. Right, so close that. Wicked. Let's record. Cool. Let's start ourselves sitting up then. Let's get ourselves moving and breathing nice and quickly. So we are going to sit up nice and tall, find the crown lifting. Take a nice breath in and then just sigh out the mouth, go. Get to the bottom, hold the breath. And then gently breathe back in through your nose. Sigh quickly out the mouth, go. Hold the breath. And then breathing back in again. Again, sigh out. Hold the breath. Breathing back in. Exhale out. Hold the breath. Breathing back in. Just 3 more of these. You might find as these go on, it gets slightly easier to hold the breath for a little bit longer. The first couple might have been a bit of a struggle. Final one. And then breathing in. Arms lift up over your head. Interlink the fingers, push those palms up to the sky, gentle side bend. Right. Inhale back up, gentle side bend left. Inhale up, gentle side bend right. And then twist and side bend right. Come back up. Exhale, side bend left. Twist left 2. Inhale, come back through center, releasing those hands down. Gently fold forward over your legs. Just feel that stretch in the hips. Even if you're on your knees, you should still be able to get a nice stretch through the back of your bum and low back. Hands across towards the right, so we get to lengthen the left side of our rib cage. And then sweep yourself across towards the left. Again, breathing into that right side of the ribs. And then come back through towards the center. Roll over your hands and knees, come on to all fours. And then just begin to fudge and shake yourself around. Turn your thumbs to face forward, fingers to face sides, sway left and right through the wrists. And then turn those fingers to face in towards your knees. You can stretch those fingers back. More than Mandy. And then come back out, turn those palms to face up, and gently just apply a little bit of weight into those hands. Try to make fists as well if you can at this point. And then again, take your hands down to the floor. Let's find our way back into down dog. From here, crouch your knees down to the floor. Find your forehead down on the ground. Keeping your forehead on the ground, hands still on the ground, you're just going to try to lift your hips as high as you feel comfortable and then bring them back down. 5 times of doing this, head stays on the floor. Lifting the hips up, getting a nice shoulder stretch. You might have to walk your feet back further. If it's super easy, you can obviously walk your feet closer. One more time. And then push up into your down dog proper. Sway your bum around again, explore your hips before we get ourselves started. Right leg lifts up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Soften your left knee, crouch into the left knee. Right leg as straight as possible. Pull the right knee in and tap your right elbow. Take it back to the sky immediately. Bending left knee, right leg is still straight. Bend right elbow, tap the right, bend the right knee, tap the right elbow, tap the right wrist, take it back. Right elbow, right wrist, left wrist, back to the sky. Right elbow, right wrist, left elbow, back towards the sky. Right elbow, right wrist, left elbow, right elbow, back to the sky. Tap right, right, left, right, back. You can see where this is going. Right elbow, right wrist, left elbow, right wrist, back. One more to do. Right, left, right, left. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Slide your hands under your feet and just begin to pad and pour into those hands. That's what I like to see, look. Clothes are coming off already. Warming ourselves up. Take hold of your index fingers and middle fingers around your big toenail, around your big toe, not your toenail, that would be gross. Inhale, rise to a flat back. Exhale, folding down over your legs. One more time, inhale. Exhale, folding down. Walk the hands back out. Downward facing dog. You can see where this is going. The left foot lifts. Straight leg, right knee bent. Left elbow and back. Bend the right knee every time you come back. left elbow, left wrist, back. Left elbow, wrist, right wrist, back. Left elbow, left wrist, right elbow, back. Full square again. Left elbow, wrist, right elbow, left elbow, back. 3 more spots. Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist, back. 2 more. Elbow, wrist, right elbow, left wrist, right wrist, back. Just got the right elbow left to tap. Left elbow, left wrist, right elbow, left wrist, right elbow. Back to downward facing dog. Whew. Walk your hands back towards your feet again. Let's get ourselves ready to get moving. Sink down to a little squat, whether full squat or just half squat, whichever works for you. Balls of the feet, or just staying higher. Interlink, wrap your fingers around. We're gonna get ourselves cooking now. So walk your hands back out, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up towards the sky. Pull that right knee in, tap your right elbow, step your right foot between your hands. Inhale, arms lift up, sink your hips down. Drop your left knee down to the floor. Exhale, hands come down as well. Straighten the front knee, half splits or pyramid pose. Bend back in, drop your left knee, arms lift up. Lift your back knee straight up. Hands to hips, fold forward over your legs. Hands to the floor, tilt your way forward, standing splits. Left foot to the back of the mat, hands into the floor. Step back to plank. Hover your left foot off the floor though, so you're in like a 3-pronged plank pose. If you need to put your right foot on the floor, you can. If not, lift. Come down through your chaturanga. Let everything touch the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog, low cobra or sphinx. Your choice, just lift your sternum away from the ground. Exhale, come down. Inhale, push to high plank. Step your right foot, so pick your right foot up, step it behind you, but keep both hands on the floor. So your right foot is on the left side of your mat. And again, if you've got any strength in your arms at all, try to chaturanga. Come down and lift up. Sweep that right foot back to the mat. And we go again. Left foot lifts, 3-legged dog. Pull that left knee through, tap your left elbow. Step the left foot through between your hands. Inhale, arms rise up, head over heart, over hips. Drop that right knee down to the floor. Exhale, hands come down, half splits. Pose. Coming back forward again. Sink your way down, tuck your back toes. Inhale, lift your chest up, lift your back knee up. Hands come onto the hips. Straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. Hands down to the floor. Try and keep your front leg straight. So use your back leg to spring you forward and over the top of your left leg. Standing splits. Right leg nice and long. Exhale, right foot to the back of the mat. Hands into the floor. Step back into your plank. Left foot can perhaps hover for additional strength in the core. Come down through your chaturanga. Let everything rest down on the floor. Hands into the ground. Gently lift your rib cage off the floor. Feel as if your hands push down and pull back. So you get that little more upper back movement. Hands into the floor. Lift up to high plank. Step your left foot behind your back. So you've got this kind of twisted thing going on. Stay here or bend your elbows down to low plank if that would be something that's nice for you. Probably not. They say step it back, find downward facing dog. Let's build, build, build. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Pull that right knee in, tap your right elbow, tap your right wrist, tap your right armpit, then step that foot through between your hands. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, bend your back knee taps the floor, hands down to the earth, half splits pose. Roll your way back. Inhale, come back forward again, lift the arms up. Lift your back knee off the floor. Hands come to heart center. Hold them there. Don't let your pelvis move at all. Wherever your pelvis is, don't twist it. Turn yourself to the right with your chest. Just your chest. You should feel a big stretch through your groin there. And then come back through and open it into warrior two. So as we come back, we just keep twisting, open warrior two. You might need to readjust your foot position. Feel free, of course, to always adjust your foot position. Forearm to front leg. Just reach that arm over your head. Reach, 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 reach now. If you want to get your right leg working more, reach both hands over your head. Holding there, holding there, holding there. Holding there. Can you drop your right rib closer to your right hip if you are? 3, 2, 1. Inhale, push to the toe. Woo. Push to the toe, push to the top. Spin yourself back towards the front. Hands to hips. Adjust your foot stance again. And then fold over your right leg. And then again, hands down to the floor. So standing splits again. So bend your back knee like this. And then you can push, keeping the right leg straight the whole time. Keep your left hand on the floor and bend your left foot in towards your bum. You're going to try and get hold of your left foot with your right hand. And then you're going to try and turn your chest to the right, holding that foot. If you can't get hold of it, that's cool. You could just go for a standing, twisted half moon, revolved half moon. So right hand in the sky, twisting there. Or you can get hold of your foot and twist from there. Hands down, foot down, hands into the floor. Pick that right foot up, step it back, hover it off the floor. Come down through chaturanga, but this time, push back to the top. Now come down, let everything rest on the floor. Your variation, if you wanted to lift your belly away from the floor, your pelvis away from the floor, you come up for your full up dog, or you can stick on your belly on your hips. Roll yourself back. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog, skipping that little twisted chaturanga this time. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. We pull that left knee through, tap left elbow, tap left wrist. Try to suck it up the whole line of your arm to tap your armpit. Step your left foot through between your hands. Inhale, the arms lift towards the sky. Imagine you've got two swords in your hand. This is the idea of warrior one. And then exhale, knee to the floor. Sink the hands down. Half splits, roll yourself back into the half splits. Feel that leg. Can you keep your back rounded and soft? And then just put your hand under your left knee. Can you relax your hand down in towards your knee? And as you do, you should feel like the muscles just above the knee, just below the knee, get an extra big stretch. Come back out. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee, lift your torso up. Hands come down into heart center. Don't let your pelvis move. If you were to briefly look down at your pelvis at this point, hopefully it's almost like the drawstring part of your trousers would be pointing 1 o'clock. Now keep that facing there by not letting your right leg move. Twist your chest towards the left. You should feel a big stretch through that right hip. And then as you come back out, turn your right foot down, walk your left foot to where feels right. Find your warrior two pose. So now we've got one sword forward, one sword back. We're looking straight down the very tip of our front sword. This is the story of Virabhadra. 3, 2, 1. Left forearm to your left thigh, right arm over your head. Now we tend to end up having this big hollow through our left side away from our left thigh. Can we drop that rib cage down a little bit? You'll suddenly notice a much more of a groin loading, or much more of a left leg loading. Hover there. If you want to take the addition, you take both hands and reach them forward over your head, holding there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit tall. Turn yourself back towards the front, hands to hips. And then again, we just come into pyramid. So we're going to just gently fold forward, fold forward, fold forward, hands down to the floor. And you get to take that standing splits again. So I like to kind of almost prepare myself by getting quite springy and then just spring forward over the top of that straight leg. And once you're there, hang out, right hand on the floor. If you want to, you just take the revolved half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, so the left hand goes to the sky, right hand is on the floor, right toes are pointed. Or if you want to take that Tapasana variation, that like, I don't know, candy cane or tiger's tail pose or whatever they want to call it, you can get hold of that foot and twist as well. Exhale, release, right foot to the back, hands into the floor. Step your left foot back, but hover it off the ground. From there, come down through a chaturanga. Of course, put your foot on the ground, put your knees on the ground if you need. Lift back to the top. Come back down. Upward facing dog, which would look something like this. Cobra, which might look something like this. Or Sphinx, which might look something like this. Your choice, your practice, your pose. Roll ourselves back to down dog. We're going to pretend that we're bunnies and we're just going to hop forward on our mat. Tiniest little hops or bigger hops. So what we're going to try and do is just begin to feel as if you put a little bit of weight in towards your hands. And you reach the front of your mat. And then we're going to sit up and down, come into high boat pose. High boat, low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat, low boat. You all love this bit, I know. So from high boat, we come down to low boat. Remember, for your body, your practice, it might be better to have your back completely on the floor, put your thumbs under the very base of your buttocks, and then lower your legs to where you still feel it in your tummy and not in your back. That might be your variation of high boat, low boat. High boat, low boat. High boat, low boat. You might be okay with going high boat, and then we go low boat. And you're just going to come up and down. And you're just going to go for the next minute. 1 whole minute. You're like, what the hell? What the hell? But you're already 10 seconds through. You see what happens when you swear at me so much? Time just flies by. You're already, a quarter of the way through. That's it. Lovely. 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 See, a third of the way through. Half of the way through. You're already halfway through. Halfway through. Doesn't time just fly by when you're having fun? Of course, if you started doing the full variation and you need to go for the other variation, do that one. You're already 2/3 of the way through. In fact, a lie, you're 3/4 of the way through. You've only got 10 seconds to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax down. Ever done a minute of that before? I doubt it. Just begin to sway your legs left and right. It's always interesting seeing where our brains go to when we start doing something a little bit prolonged and challenging, how quickly they want to give up. And can you know when it's your brain and know when it's your body? Know when your body really has to stop, and know when it's just your brain going, this is stupid, why am I doing a minute? Find your happy baby, draw your knees in towards your chest, grab hold of your toes. Maybe go for a little roll if that would suit you. And then, whenever you're ready, let your legs come down to the floor. Let yourself relax down on the floor. Let everything just sink. Find your breath becoming your center and your focus again. Hopefully you should be feeling like that was some kind of work you just did. Like you're a little bit warmer. Thumbs up to that. That's what I like to hear. So now is your opportunity to slow it down. You've got 3 minutes here. 3 minutes of just calm, quiet stillness. 3 minutes to take control of your breath, to observe how quickly you can slow it down or not slow it down, as the case may be. You might find that to begin with, doing nasal breathing for prolonged periods at this moment is a real challenge. And perhaps over the course of the next 2.5 minutes, it becomes a little bit easier as everything settles down. But you want to just see if you can at least draw the nose breathing in and slow down mouth breathing, perhaps if that's where you were at. And then over time, as that mouth breathing slows everything down, the nasal breathing becomes easier. And as the nasal breathing becomes easier, we can watch and we can observe our heart rate slowing, the blood pressure slowing, easing. Just another 9 breaths or so, in for 4 and out for 6. Just scanning your body, crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Final 6 breaths. Final 3 breaths. Again, one last breath as you scan through the body, just letting all of the tension go from your jaw, your cheeks, your belly, your thighs, and your feet. And then beginning to wriggle your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles, drawing your knees up in towards your belly and giving them a big hug and a squeeze. And then slowly beginning to make your way up to a nice comfortable seated position. As you find your way up there, just allow yourself to sit tall, the crown lifting, the eyes closed. Try to gently tuck your chin in a little bit and lengthen the back of the neck. Hands to prayer, up to the third eye. Loka samasta sukhina bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. Thanks, folks.